SNL is getting its first true newbie host of the season this weekend, with comedian Nikki Glaser, who's never before appeared on the show, set to make her Studio 8H debut alongside musical guest and fellow SNL first-timer Sombra. For Glaser, it's the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. Last year, she told Variety, "I have loved the show forever. I'm not waiting for the call. But when it comes in, it'll be an absolute yes." But Glaser's debut isn't the only story we're tracking ahead of this season's 5th episode. Here are 5 storylines we'll be watching this Saturday night. Will New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani make Studio 8H one of his first post-election stops? Saturday Night Live has a long history with New York City's mayors, from Ed Koch and Rudy Giuliani to Michael Bloomberg, with Mamdani's election win dominating headlines this week and on the heels of Rami Youssef portraying the charismatic Democratic Socialist in last week's mayoral debate cold open. It seems like only a matter of time before the real Mamdani stops by the show. As season 51 nears its quarter mark, Ashley Padilla continues to rewrite the record books. The second-year featured player currently leads the entire cast in both sketch appearances, 21, and total screen time, 32-10, making her the first second-year player to lead in appearances this deep into a season since Bill Hader in season 32, 2006-07, and the first featured player ever to hold that title. With what's shaping up to be one of the most impressive sophomore campaigns in SNL history, all eyes are on Padilla to see how long she can sustain her historic run. Last week in this space, we spotlighted the growing on-screen chemistry between Ashley Padilla and Andrew Dismukes, and they delivered, sharing scenes in Hockey PSA, Murder Press Briefing, and on Weekend Update as two people who just hooked up. But another dynamic duo may also be emerging, Ben Marshall and Veronica Slowakowska. The two share similar comedy backgrounds and social followings from their pre-SNL sketch work, and their friendship off-screen has clearly translated on camera. They've already appeared in 9 sketches together this season, including as contestants in What Did I Do Last Night? So far, 64% of Veronica's sketches have featured Ben, and 56% of Ben's have featured Veronica, numbers that suggest a real creative connection worth watching. Known for her razor-sharp roast skills, Nikki Glaser is already warming up the insult mic. In this week's Wednesday promo, she took aim at Ashley Padilla, James Austin Johnson, and Cam Patterson, but one obvious target remains untouched: Colin Jost. No SNL cast member in recent memory has endured more roasting than Jost, and pairing Glaser with Sarah Sherman, the show's resident roastmaster, could set the stage for an all-time Weekend Update moment. According to our resident SNL statistician, Mike Murray, this season's monologues have been noticeably shorter than usual, but that's about to change. Glaser revealed on Late Night with Seth Meyers earlier this week that she's been workshopping her SNL monologue in New York comedy clubs, hinting at a proper stand-up set. The question now is, how long will she go? SNL's all-time monologue record belongs to Dave Chappelle, who spoke for 16 minutes and 49 seconds last season. Other recent long O-logs include Louis C.K., 9:28, John Mulaney, 9:22, Nate Bargatze, 9:19, Aziz Ansari, 8:46, and Amy Schumer, 8:11. With Glaser at the mic, this weekend's opener could join that list. This weekend's Saturday Night Live airs Saturday, November 8 at 11:30 p.m. ET, 8:30 p.m. PT on NBC and Peacock. Join us at latenighter.com immediately after for the Saturday Night Network's live after show, where SNL experts and superfans share their hot takes on the night's best and worst moments. Get stories like this in your inbox? Sign up for Late Nighter's free daily newsletter. Saturday Night Live is poised for a major shakeup this weekend as comedian. Nikki Glaser steps into Studio 8H for her first ever hosting gig, making her the season's first true newbie host. Glaser, known for her sharp, unflinching stand-up and brutal roast appearances, will be joined by musical guest Sombra, also making their SNL debut. For Glaser, the opportunity is the fulfillment of a long-held ambition, having told Variety last year, "I have loved the show forever. When the call comes in, it'll be an absolute yes." Ahead of the season 51, episode 5 broadcast this Saturday, November 8th. All eyes are on a collection of unfolding narratives, from record-breaking cast member performances to a potential political cameo and, of course, the size of Glaser's comedy artillery, the Ashley Padilla phenomenon, rewriting the SNL record book. The biggest internal story of the season continues to be the remarkable sophomore campaign of featured player Ashley Padilla. As season 51 nears its quarter mark, Padilla is delivering a historic run, currently leading the entire cast in two critical metrics: sketch appearances 21 and total screen time 32.10. This level of dominance by a second-year player is unprecedented in the modern era. Padilla is the first second-year featured player to lead the cast in appearances this deep into a season since Bill Hader in season 32, 2006-07. And remarkably, the first featured player ever to hold the coveted overall lead in total appearances at this stage. Her meteoric rise from newcomer to cast MVP confirms the show's confidence in her range and reliability, and her ability to sustain this high-volume output is the definitive creative storyline of the season. Padilla's success is also fueling some electric on-screen partnerships. Last week, her chemistry with Andrew Dismukes exploded as they shared 3 scenes, including the memorable hockey PSA, murder press briefing, and the deeply weird and hilarious Weekend Update segment as two people who just hooked up, the new emerging duo Ben Marshall and Veronica Slowakowska. While the Padilla-Dismukes dynamic is generating buzz, a new creative duo is quickly emerging: Ben Marshall and Veronica Slowakowska. Both joined the show with similar backgrounds in pre-SNL sketch comedy and built significant social media followings, and their off-screen friendship appears to have translated directly into strong creative synergy. The two have already appeared together in 9 sketches this season, including a highly praised turn as contestants in What Did I Do Last Night? The statistics clearly illustrate their tight collaboration. 64% of Veronica's sketches have featured Ben, and 56% of Ben's have featured Veronica. This high co-appearance rate suggests they are a go-to writing and performing team, establishing a unique voice that is rapidly becoming a favorite of the writing staff and audience alike. The political cameo watch: Zohran Mamdani in 8H. Following a week of dominating headlines, New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani has emerged as a prime candidate for a surprise cameo. Saturday Night Live has a storied history of inviting sitting or newly elected NYC mayors to Studio 8H, including appearances by Ed Koch, Rudy Giuliani, and Michael Bloomberg. Mamdani, the charismatic Democratic socialist whose election win has been widely discussed, was already the subject of last week's mayoral debate Cold Open, where Rami Youssef portrayed him with painful politeness and viral charm. The show has now publicly acknowledged his cultural footprint, making it seem like only a matter of time, perhaps this Saturday, before the real Mamdani appears for a signature live from New York political moment. A surprise walk-on would be Mamdani's first post-election appearance in the entertainment sphere, the roast of Colin Jost Glaser's Weekend. Update threat: Nikki Glaser's appearance sets the stage for a potentially historic Weekend Update segment. Known for her razor-sharp roast skills, Glaser has already started to warm up the insult mic, taking aim at cast members Ashley Padilla, James Austin Johnson, and Cam Patterson in the week's Wednesday promo. However, the most tempting and currently untouched target remains Colin Jost. No SNL cast member in recent memory has endured more good-natured roasting than the Update anchor. Pairing the visiting comedy master Glaser with Sarah Sherman, the show's resident roast master, could create an explosive and memorable moment. Insiders are eagerly anticipating if Glaser, with her professional roasting pedigree, will be the one to finally deliver an all-time great, no-holds-barred attack on the veteran anchor. The long O-log watch: will Glaser break the clock? This season's monologues have been statistically shorter than previous years, but that trend is expected to dramatically reverse this weekend. Glaser revealed on Late Night with Seth Meyers that she has been workshopping her SNL monologue in New York comedy clubs all week, a clear sign that she intends to deliver a proper, extended stand-up set rather than a short, sketch-heavy opener.